This is our automatic water. As you can see, she does not like the cold. Yes, this is an old horse blanket. The first cold snap we got this winter, it completely froze up. It was my fault because I did not pay attention to the mission critical reptile light. We have to keep this in the water, otherwise it freezes. It used to have heating elements to keep the bowls warm. Those are no longer in here. We've had a long history with this water. If this is not in there, this thing freezes up. So, to stay on top of this, we change these out once a month, regardless of whether it's burnt out or not. We are at the start of the month, so it is time for me to change it out. Now, I will admit, this is my first time doing this. Usually my husband takes care of this, but I'm on my own today, and I want to get this done because it is going to get colder here this week. It needs to get done. Okay, so yes, it is still unthawed. That's good. I check it every day just to make sure we're still good. So we just got a little panel here on the side. I apologize if my voice is really annoying. I am sick, and I'm sick of being sick. Okay. We can just unplug this. Okay, there we go. Step one, unplug the current situation. So we just got a little plug, light, nice and warm. Pretty sure I bought the same one. So I literally just go to the pet store, to the reptile section. These are just like to keep lizards and stuff warm. It's a basking lamp. This might be a little bit wasteful, but like if this went out in the middle of the night, like this week when it's gonna be minus 30, this is gonna freeze up and then we got bigger issues. So it is worth changing it out once a month for 6 months or whatever to make sure this is okay. Plug it in. Perfect. Light. We have light. And that's it. Look at me. Look at me. I don't need my husband. He's taught me well. Yeah. We're just using a huff pick. It's got like a little lever here. That. Okay. This might be the trickiest part of the whole thing. There. Perfect. Okay. Alright. So yeah, this is an old horse blanket that I don't use, and a ratchet strap that I tied because I couldn't get the ratchet figured out. It's a hot mess. I absolutely hate this water. I have another trough for my horses that we use that works. Has never let me down. Actually, I shouldn't say that. All my waters have let me down at one point or another because when it gets to be minus 40, that just happens. It's not going to get that cold this week. I think the lowest low when I looked at the forecast this morning was minus 30, which is pretty darn cold, but by this time a week from now, it'll be back to minus 4, which makes me happy. So right now my horses are naked. They're not wearing their blankets. They've actually probably worn their blankets the least they have ever up to this point because we've had a very mild winter temperature-wise so far. But come this evening, I will be putting their blankets on. It is going to get down to, I think, close to minus 20 tonight. So we will put blankets on them for tonight just to make sure that they are nice and cozy. This is my other water source for the horses. So obviously with the other trough or water being covered with a blanket. This is actually their only source of water. So it's just a regular stock tank, a float heater that's connected to power in the barn. And before it gets cold, I make sure I fill this thing up. I filled it up yesterday, so we should be good for... It takes them right around a week to get to where it needs to be filled up again. So that'll be when it's warming up again. And yeah, should have no concerns with water. As far as like other prep for the cold, there's not a whole lot. I have several bales under my lean-to ready to be fed to the horses. If we need more, they're a short jaunt up the hill there, which, yeah, I have more than enough here for several weeks at this point. So horses have plenty of feed available. I fork it over to them as needed. Waterers are all good. They'll get blanketed. They have a shelter to go into if it's snowing or raining or whatever garbage weather Mother Nature throws at us. Other than that, that's pretty much it. It's like, you know, here in Alberta, we are, like, things are built and designed knowing that it's going to get cold. So it's not like we live in Texas where, like, if we get a cold snap, it's pandemonium. Like, we expect this and things are just naturally kind of set up for it. So as far as prep goes, it's not actually that bad. It's just kind of like dreading the fact that it's going to get cold because, like I said, it has been very nice here. Like right now I'm just in jeans and I'm fine. So it's kind of just like hunker down for the week when it's really cold and yeah, just hope that we get an early spring. You know when there's weather coming in when your 25-year-old gelding, i.e. Junior, is acting super spicy. So I thought I'm gonna take advantage of his spiciness. We're gonna do a bit of groundwork here in the arena. When I went out to feed my horses in the afternoon, that's when I went and also put on their blankets for the evening. As I said, the temperatures are going to start getting a bit colder here over the next week, so it was time to put their blankets back on. As a general rule, I do try to take my horses' blankets off as much as I can, but they also do wear them a fair bit during the winter as well. And that's for a couple of reasons. One reason is because I do work my horses in the wintertime. And if you're working a very, very furry horse, they do have a tendency to get sweatier quicker. And so if I can keep blankets on them and potentially prevent a bit of that hair from growing, that just helps with the sweaty situation because a sweaty horse can turn into a cold horse very, very fast in the wintertime. The second big reason that I wear or put blankets on my horses is because we often get wetter snow, and that wetter snow can very quickly seep through a horse's natural coat. And again, just like when they get sweaty, if they get wet, they can get very, very cold and start shivering, which is bad news when it's very cold out. So if I have blankets on them, I can avoid that shivery situation altogether. That being said, I take every advantage I can to not have them wear their blankets. I feel like, you have to remember horses are naturally designed to build a nice winter coat, and it works very, very well. And on top of that, just kind of in a practical sense, I don't like wearing anything 24/7. I'm sure they don't like wearing their blankets 24/7. So I try to take them off as often as I can. Both of them wear WeatherBeeta blankets, which they seem to fit really well and I really, really like them. The last thing that I kind of want to mention just in terms of prepping your horses for the cold is feed. Horses generate a tremendous amount of heat from their gut through digestion of feed. So whenever it starts to get cold, my horses do get a bit of extra hay just to ensure that they're continually fermenting in their gut and continually developing that heat, because that's what's going to get them through those very, very cold days that we get here in Alberta. So nothing too fancy here. It's all very commonsensical things that get us through the winter here at the ranch.